Alright everyone, it's time for an important video, and that's essentially, in a nutshell, enough of the e-drama. Like, I'm not digging it like I think some people do. Here's something that I've noted, and it's really, mostly it's in the wake of the Spencer debate. And I can assume that probably the reason why is that debate sort of encapsulated the debate between the hegemonic core of the alt-right and the hegemonic core of maybe the skeptics or people associated with Sargon or his general mentality. Because I was part of this debate, I think people got the impression that I'm interested in e-drama stuff because Sargon and Spencer seem not to get along with each other. And that's simply not the case. What have I been doing for literally 10 years? I'm not really a debater per se. I mean, shitposting, yeah, that's fine. For the most part, though, I'm willing to have conversations with anyone. I don't really like the bad blood, the feud, backstabbing intrigue of like soap opera side bullcrap online. That's not what I've been into. I'm a content creator, first and foremost. I'm just a YouTuber in that sense. And of course, some of you are seeing this on BitChute. I'm a bit shooter too. I suppose that'd be the term that would be used. I like making content. I like putting my opinions out there. I love predicting politics, gardening, writing books, ruminating on the occult. I've got varied interests. I like all of these things. To try to insinuate that I'm some sort of leader of some movement, or that because I have a large fan base, a large audience, that I have to do certain things and represent certain things and pick a side or put myself in some category, I'm sorry, but that's, again, just not me. And I'm hearing this from different groups of people. Here's the problem. I think I stepped into a mud-flinging match, and now I'm very deliberately walking away from it because I'm not interested in being part of that. Some people like it. They're like, oh, I'm going to fight the good fight. It's going to be great. I love the drama. Okay, if you like the drama, that's fine. Some people, they're going to be opportunistic and be like, oh, yeah, if I just put myself out here, maybe I can like get lots of attention, like the drama will feed my presence or something. And of course, I'm not indicating about that about any specific individual, but when I see people trying to divide up like the creator community into different groups, that's exactly what I've been warning against. It's exactly what I've been trying to avoid. My idea when I signed on to go on Warski's show and sort of debate the topic of the alt-right, my assumption was that it was going to be, generally a halfway friendly debate. Yes, disagreement, but people got, again, the wrong idea. They wanted a blood sport. And then I get involved, and I've been invited to a debate. So I am going to debate. That doesn't mean that I have any bad blood towards any other content creator. People, I think, got the wrong idea. And it came from both sides. It came from both sides. Like some of the skeptics or classical liberal community are like, oh, you're giving a platform to Nazis. This is a terrible thing. You shouldn't even talk to them. I've been standing for censorship for such a long time. Let me just fucking ignore a whole political movement and say, well, I don't want to get branded with a scarlet N, so I'm not going to talk to these fucking people. Then on the other side, like the alt-right's like, oh, he's a cocky questioned Spencer's beliefs. It's like, yeah, I've been told, hey, you want to come aboard for a debate, not just a semi-discussion, not just, hey, it's going to be amiable and stuff. I know it wasn't like a 100% structured debate, but it was a disagreement, a fundamental disagreement about what we believe within politics and society. Mainly it was Sargon and Spencer going at one another, and I think what that did is it drew a lot of people in, and they see, wow, there's a lot of, it's a feud, basically. There's a lot of anger here. And then they see, well, I'm involved, so somehow I must have those same strong feelings, and I'm not just there because, hey, I was invited. It's interesting. Warski's stream, it attracts a lot of people. It's a great place to be, and it's fun. That's what I see. So, yeah, I'm backing away from that bullshit because I'm not interested. I am just me. The only opinions that I really care about are those of my fans. And a lot of people have appreciated and spoken of appreciating the fact that I'm like the Switzerland of YouTube, and I don't get involved into these things. I'm not interested in e-drama. I'm not interested in bickering. We can have a disagreement all day over aspects of politics, and I can, of course, one of the things you've got to understand, I don't know if many people have an appreciation for this. You also have to be able, if you're going to be a good debater or have a good discussion, sometimes you have to argue devil's advocate. Sometimes you can even stress opinions that you don't even 100% hold in order to query another person, in order to challenge their worldview. It doesn't mean you hate their worldview. It means, hey, I'm debating this person or I'm discussing something. Let's get philosophical. Let's go out on a limb here and even challenge our own beliefs in the process. Sort of the fucking point. But some people think that means that you have a deep-seated hate towards some group or another, like, oh, Styx must hate this person now because, they disagree on some lame-ass tenet of, ancient history. That's not me, dude. What am I generally known for? Most of the people on this channel, you know me as the dude who did a good job predicting the last election. Or an occultist. Or I'm the dude who eats weird fucking MRE food. Something like that. Or maybe you joined because you saw the Fallout gaming and you're like, oh yeah, it's pretty fun. Most people on this channel, I'm going to hazard a guess, don't want me to get into the internet blood sports thing. And I'm going to respect that because I don't really want to get into it either. It's just not the sort of thing that I'm interested in doing. When I see, especially, and this is even more compelling, when I see people from basically every other group, because I guess the audience that I have now is larger, people are giving it greater importance to try to win me over. And trust me, by the way, I know that there's some shilling involved. Like, not everyone pretending to be a Nazi is actually, like, alt-right. Sometimes it's just someone making crude stereotypes. They're actually like a social justice warrior trying to say, hey, we're going to convince these large creators that basically anyone who believes in ethno-nationalism is a drooling Neanderthal, so let's pretend in a crude way to be them. There's shilling on the other side. There are people who are like alt-right and they pretend to be like really out there social justice warriors, and they'll say like, oh, you shitlord, because you're not far left, you're an evil person. They're trying to actually get you to go in the other direction, and this happens. So trust me, I know about that. I'm not ignorant to the fact that that's happening. Again, another overarching thing I've talked about is profit motive. Now, it's not just profit, it's also in the context of the growth of movements or power in general. You could say there's a motive for people to get together and shill like that. And wherever there's a motive, and I believe Scott Adams has alluded to this, it will actually end up happening. It's just a matter of how long does it take to happen and at what level is it happening, basically. So I can tell you it is currently. Because YouTube is still a dynamic, growing thing, and the presence of some people on the platform we're growing a lot faster than cable news. Somebody on cable news loses 100,000 viewers in a year. Somebody on YouTube gains 100,000 viewers a year. We're robbing them blind, and we're doing it efficiently. So I've warned against people getting into the sort of the not happy side of debating and feuding, like actually hating one another, not working together, basically taking our eyes off the ball, again, ignoring the bear to swat the mosquito. I'm not interested in doing that. My enemy is, first and foremost, the biggest enemy that we have right now is the legacy media. I hold to that. I believe that. I don't care if somebody comes along and says, no, we've got other enemies like, white genocide, or, hey, we've got other enemies, Nazis. Okay, you keep believing that. You go ahead and fight the Nazis, or you fight, the social justice warriors or whatever. I'm going to sit there and fight censorship because I realize you're not going to be having that fucking conversation very long at all in the first place if we're not successful. That's what I'm interested in. When I talk about the creators block, for example, there are a lot of people within that block whose primary concern still remains, and this is what I was part of during the last election. It wasn't, hey, haha, ethno-nationalism will elect Trump. It was, hey, anti-PC movement will elect Trump. We're tired of being told a bunch of social Marxist bullshit, a bunch of moralism it's trying to degrade everything about our culture to the lowest common denominator. It's trying to make us basically slaves, to rob us of intellectual independence. I stand against that. I'm still part of that general side of things. When people are like, even on the further right, they're like, oh, how can you still like Trump? Well, Trump is still primarily anti-PC. I told you over a year ago he was not an ethno-nationalist. You didn't believe me. You thought he was dog whistling to you. So did the left. Nobody thought this was strange at all unless they were part of some other group, so-called. Not going to happen. Not interested in the e-sports sort of thing. I mean, it's almost. Like when you get creators and they have a disagreement, all their fans, they suddenly become so polarized, it's like looking at two groups of football fans. Again, I'm not a fucking football team, dude. I'm a content creator. I don't have any enemies. Look, there are no enemies for me online. I don't have any enemies on YouTube. I can't think of a single creator. This includes people that I spar with in a not so nice manner, like a Destiny or something. I don't consider him my enemy. I just consider him someone I don't want to debate. And this is just another reason not to debate him, by the way. Not interested. Not my thing. Okay, maybe I'm good at discussing things with people. So fucking what? I'm also good at gardening. I'm good at writing books. I'm going to have more of a fun time if I sit there with a book that's 300-400 years old and copy it line by line to create a new edition for the first time in several centuries. That's going to be more fun to me than debating things with people online, unless that debate is structured and friendly. And there are several other debates people wanted me to have with people recently. And then I realized that the majority of people, including my own fans, and I don't want to put them through this either, my fans would end up in that same football team situation because it would be just a sore spot. And so I withdrew from them because I'm not interested in doing that whole thing. I'm interested in making my own videos. By the way, as an aside here, and I'll be covering this a little bit more later, I can see that YouTube is becoming more and more about live streaming and less about standalone. At some point pretty soon, I'm going to have my own show. It's just a matter of I realize the sound, I need to get soundproofing wedges. I need a little bit, I've got the office now, but I still need a little bit more sophisticated to set up, looking into other like cameras and stuff like that. Maybe a new desk and chair, a setup that looks a little bit more semi-professional for the streaming. Now I can set this up anywhere, but I want something that's like sort of a fixture, something that's a little bit, a little bit more sophisticated. I think I'll do that. I've been dragging my heels on it for a year. So I think it's about time that I actually get that started. It's just a matter of also finding a schedule that I can stick with, because you gotta understand, I like to bounce around from thing to thing every day. So, like, sticking to a schedule is not generally my strong suit. I'll try. It'll probably be a shorter, like, style of show, like maybe like 3 or 4 times a week. Just take an hour and a half to wrap up the news, just sit there talking about how fucked up things are, then, have people aboard. Maybe have a call-in line is something that I've wanted to do, but still, to this day, nobody's shown me a way without, having some sort of weird phone hookup that I can actually do that. Like, you need all sorts of weird tech. I don't even have a desk big enough for all the machines I would need, probably. No, I just want a program online that I can use really for it. That's about all. Peace out.